This is my Baja Doodlebug, or Dirt Bug, DB30 mini bike, and I bought this frame by itself. I decided I want to build a bike from scratch, so, well, not really from scratch, you know what I mean, but just bought the frame by itself. That front suspension there is from an MBX11 mini bike, and you can order those off of Motivox website, along with the handlebars. I bought the MBX10 handlebars because I like them better, and they're completely black, which looks pretty sweet. My engine is a Predator 212cc motor, and I have a size 35 max torque clutch, and you can get that off of eBay, OMB Warehouse, MonsterScooterParts.com, all those places. And I also got the mounting plate, which really isn't the right plate for this bike, even though it says it is on OMBWarehouse.com. I actually had to machine out the holes. Right here, you can even see where I kind of messed them up a little bit, but I machined out the holes. I marked, right where the engine mounts are going to be, and slotted that out all the way back. And this is the only way to get this engine in. And I actually had to go into the bar right here a little bit too, just to push the engine as far forward as possible. So if I'm looking level at it, you can even see it's kind of on the mounting plate, but it kind of isn't. But I slotted it all the way up, and then underneath, I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, you can see where I mounted it up, and that nut is all the way up against this mounting plate. It's kind of got a flame. Kind of got an overhang here, so there was only one way to put it on. But I got it on and used a small washer, and actually had to cut down one side of the washer so it can fit up against that, because washers are round, and I had to put it flat so it could go up against this overhang. Alright. It has a size 35 chain, which the stock chain will not fit this. So I had to go to, actually Napa Auto Parts has a size 35 chain. They come in 10-foot increments. So I was able to get that. And so when you put this engine in, the stock engine will not fit. I don't care whatever you say, or if you see the other video on YouTube, the way he has it, it's not that stable, and he's got like a thin plate. He's got like a thin little sheet of metal that props up his engine, which, in my case, when I put the engine in there, I took out right now I don't have my exhaust pipe on there, well, the stock one, muffler, whatever. I actually have it, I bought a straight pipe, which is right there, hanging there, which is drying. I put some heat resistance paint on that, which I'll get to that in just a second. But going back to the engine, when I first put it in here, it was resting right up against this bar. You don't want that. The vibration's terrible. That's the way I had it before. That's why I had to go back and remachine these holes to push the engine forward. I also had to take links out when I first put it on, and as you can see, it's really tight now. This is how tight you want your engine. Should be able to go up about, I'd say about half an inch. It works well for me. Half an inch. It's not chewing up the sprocket or the clutch, which it works out pretty good. And so, yeah, going back to the engine again. This engine, I actually had to prop it up some more so it actually sit level. And right here, you can see where I added washers. I actually have a big washer and a little washer right there that's right under there. You can kind of see the little washer. So that alone, to get the tightness in the chain, I had to prop up the back of the engine just a little bit, which I still did with the front. There's a washer under the front here. But that gave me enough tension so the chain would fit. And it was tight enough to where it wasn't coming off. Alright. So now we'll go over to my exhaust pipe. So this is my exhaust pipe. Ordered that off OMB Warehouse. And I kind of had to go search through all the pages. I didn't want to put a muffler on it or anything. I'm just using this thing for off-roading, fishing. I go to Wyoming quite a bit, so I was like, screw it. It sounds 10 times better with this pipe. I can't even tell you. It sounds amazing. But here's the heat resistance paint I put on it. And you can also get like exhaust pipe tape or whatever. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Muffler tape. They do that on Harley Davidsons, and they look sick. They look so cool. But it's called Pour 20, and it's heat resistance paint, which you're supposed to add 2 coats, and you add 1 coat and you got to wait 24 hours before you put the next one on. So I messed up the first time, didn't clean the pipe good enough, and it started bubbling up. So don't make that same mistake. But right now it looks really good. It looks smooth and it's on there good. Now I just put on my second coat just a second ago. But yeah, here's the other side of my engine. I got this red and silver breather from Advanced Auto Parts, which you got to kind of find an adapter, because the stock pipe is just a little bit too big for this. So you got to get a little adapter, which I just went to Kawasaki, Tri-City Cycle, one of those places around here. Then they bought me a little adapter. Well, they actually made it for me, and then as you can see, I put a brace on that and a zip tie right there and a zip tie to there. I want to get one of those, put it right down here instead of having a plastic one next to the OHV. But I actually have a UNI air filter under this sleeve. This is a water resistance sleeve. It will not get water in your air filter, but you can ride it out in the rain. If it's raining or whatever, it just drips right off. But I have a UNI air filter, and this is actually a K&N cover because I didn't have any in stock for that size of air filter. Let's go right down here. I took out the governor, completely took out the governor. The governor arm is not in this engine. I took it out, chased the hole that the governor arm was in, and put a bolt in there. And so you can see I don't even have a throttle cable, or I mean a throttle arm that comes back to the carburetor, which I made this myself to get the maximum RPMs out of this engine. And so what I made it out of was a coat hanger, one of those metal coat hangers. You can just bend it up to where it lines up perfectly, where you can see right there. I'm pulling the engine back, full throttle, opens up the valve, close, open, close. And I'll use this too, and you can see how it works. See that? Works just fine. And you can also adjust like how fast you want to go using the throttle cable, because you can pull so much of this wire out too, because you got to kind of find that happy medium to where you're gradually accelerating, not going too fast, or else I don't want to blow my motor, but I like having the maximum RPMs I can get out of it. Yep, so yeah, and here's the front of my bike with all the Motovox front end. Sweet deal, they fit perfect. Well, when you buy the front suspension, it fits great right in here. My issue is I bought too long of bolts, and this bolt head would actually hit this paint right here. You can see it chipped a little bit off, but I decided, well, heck, I can just add washers, so now when it turns, it never hits there. And Motovox sells these front suspension arms for I think $100, and then the MBX handlebars for $25. So keep that in mind when you're looking for that. And I still need to put a kill switch on it, which that's always a good idea. You don't want your engine just to go crazy on you. But yeah, I'll make another video of me starting it up here, and comment below, tell me what you think. I'll get that other video up, and I'll let you guys see how it rides, what it sounds like. It's a sweet machine. I got it up to 40. Like, that's before I had that on before, but it was all bubbly and ugly, but now it's going to look beautiful. But yeah, I got it up to 40, and it runs great. But if you have any questions, just comment below. And also, another thing, one more thing. These right here, I bought the metal foot pegs. They're like, I think $8 a piece, but if you buy the rubber with them, the rubber jacket, these aren't the real rubber jackets. If you buy the rubber jacket online, it's going to cost way more. I I got this. I made this by using 5/8 heater hose off my dad's 51 Chevy. He had some extra, but yeah, just lube up the foot peg and heat up this rubber, and then just put it on there. It should go right on. But yeah, I think they look better than the original ones that I did have on here. Well, the original ones that come with the bike. So yeah, they look pretty sweet. So yeah, that's my bike. I need to put a clutch cover on it, chain guard. I'm gonna make a custom one, probably diamond plate it, or get silver. I'm not too sure yet. I'm really digging the black and red, so I'll have to see what I do from there. So yeah, comment below. Thanks. Bye.